So I don't know if any of you have seen this article where a mom tells a child that if he gets lost, find a big black guy. And the reason the mom added this is because 77% of predators are not black. Child predators are not black. While 77.6% of released child molesters were white, it's kind of an abusive point. Now, I understand we all want our children to be in the safest hands if they are lost, but why don't we then recognize black men to be 70% active fathers in their child's lives, which is the highest percentage of any demographic? But rather, we hear other things like 13% of the population make up 52% of the crime in this nation, which is a nonsense stat because 13% is the black population in America. So you're saying that all black people commit crime. That's ridiculous. If that was the case, then this mother would not want her child around such a person. But what it also says is you're not willing to give us any other sort of accreditation, trust, or anything along those lines until it comes to your child being lost, and there is no other option than to say, well, I don't want them around my own people. I'm guessing this woman is white. But nevertheless, I find it to be an abusive place to put people. To just say, well, they're less likely to commit a certain crime, so let's not do this, let's not do that. Because what happens then if somebody is stranded on the side of the road? Let's say a black man is stranded on the side of the road and he needs help. And is she going to pass him by because possibly black men are more likely to commit a carjacking? So you can't have it both ways. If you want your child to be safe, then you have to trust black men to be able to say, I can trust them at a certain hour at night to say if they need help, I will at least get them the help. Maybe you don't roll down your window or open your car door, but you pull over to say something along the lines of, I will call, or I will make a call. Or you just drive by slowly and yell out the window, I will make a call. But you have to put trust if you want your trust to be, seen through, that you would trust that a black man would not harm your child. What are your thoughts? Because I find this a little crazy. And then it also says that you are willing to just throw the rest of white men under the bus to say, well, you all might be predators, child predators. That's a very disheartening place to come from. Although I understand it to a very small extent, but I don't like the notion that it's only when all hope is lost do you say, find somebody that we may not have taught you otherwise that you can trust. Have you taught your children about Dr. King, any of the processes or the fights that blacks have had to go through? Have you taught them about the 13th Amendment? Have you taught them about a lot of things that have happened to black men so this child or other children can learn to respect them, and not just to say, well, my mom told me to, find you in case I'm in trouble. That way I can be safe, and then go about learning my lifestyle, which has nothing to do with you. I just needed you for this, but I don't need you for anything else. It's just not a spot that I enjoy hearing that my demographic has to say, now we have to step in and save white children because their parents weren't watching them, which is what it is. If your child is lost, it means you lost track of them. And now I am on the hook to be responsible for that. Not only do you put black men in danger, because if somebody happens to see a black man with a white child, not everybody's thinking, oh, that child is safe now with that black man. Hey, what's that white kid doing with that black man? Somebody should call the police. Somebody should. And as we all know, depending on what the call goes in as, that can put somebody's life in immediate danger. I don't like it. I'll be honest. I don't like it. I don't think that it sits well to just say, this is what you need to use them for. And what do you get in return? Are you willing to help small black children who are lost? Or if they're not lost, are you willing to go to these inner cities and help, donate, read? Are you willing to give something back on the basis that if your child is lost, this is the demographic who is supposed to save your child? You pointed your child out to black men. So are you willing to help black men just outside of saying, you know what, in case you save my kid, here's a reward, or I'm grateful for this? But are you willing to help in any other form or fashion? Are you willing to go to the marches? Are you willing to go to Juneteenth? Are you willing to go to these other places that black men live and dwell and have to be a part of? Are you standing up against police brutality? Are you standing up against things like Flint? Are you standing up against redlining? Are you standing up against the inequalities that still plague the black community? Or is it just enough to say, hey, thanks for saving my kid because I wasn't watching him? Guys, what are your thoughts? What's your ace up the sleeve advice, comment, experience? I know I sound a little ramped up. I kind of am, but I would love to hear from you guys what you think. Please leave it in the comments. You can like, dislike. I won't be mad at you either way. And hit the subscriptions and the notifications. I hope this finds everybody in a place, pursuit, or beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul. And we'll see you soon. Peace, love, unity, solidarity. You know what? Let me just preface all of that by saying, if I found any child lost and they asked for help, I absolutely would help them. Absolutely would help them. If I pride, myself and many black men, but this is a telltale sign, society, that if somebody's willing to say, have your child find a black person to help them, it tells you we are not the threat that society has made us out to be. We are not the threat that this campaign of just being thugs, gangbangers, chain snatchers, car stealers, and all of these other things, we're not that. We're way more involved than you think in society and have contributed far more than a lot of people would like to admit.